believe in Wollongong, doubt us all year, you better start believing because we'll be back next year.
Ball driving. 7 seconds left. He pulls the trigger. Big shot taker. Big shot maker. Tyler Harvey enormous.
Welcome back to the Hawks Hangout, your one-stop shop for everything Illawarra Hawks, presented by the one and only Principal Brewing and Enable U2. And Corey, we've been fortunate enough to snag another sponsor. A big, massive shout out to Sammy Ackroyd over at 18th Dynasty. Go check him out at 216 Kira Street, Wollongong, or over on Instagram at 18th Dynasty. Mate, it's huge. Big, massive shout out to him. Local Illawarra boy, putting his name out there in the streetwear culture market. We've got these awesome streetwear 18th Dynasty hats. And guys, keep your eyes peeled because Hangout merch is coming soon. He will be our official merchandise sponsor moving forward. So a big, massive shout out once again to him. And yeah, Corey, it's been a great week in Hawks basketball. What are we going to cover in this episode?
Just before I do, I just, again, shout out to Sammy. Like, I walked past the store. My son's huge, like, NBA fan, looked across, go, well, what's this store? Like, wow, it's got all NBA gear. It's probably going to cost me plenty of money, but super big shout out. Thanks for the hats, mate. And, yeah, we'll be in contact with you. And, yeah, he's a big basketball fan, so get behind it. He's got some great gear. There's some awesome T-shirts. I really like his design, his logo. This is something like that's his little design there, but he's got some awesome T-shirts, awesome hats. So go check him out. But on today's episode, we're going to cover that disastrous Southeast Melbourne Phoenix game. We're going to obviously look at the bounce back against Perth last night. I got a new segment for you called Are You Serious? All right, we'll look at a few different moments and say, like, they could be crazy moments, good moments, shocking moments, and then I'm going to ask you to vote which one you think wins the Are You Serious moment of the week. We're going to look at our new import signing, finally. Let's go. All right, QJ Peterson, sick. We're going to revisit Get Up and Get Out, one of the fan favourites. We might revisit some FLOG WATCH as well. I know that was another fan favourite as well. And then we'll cover that Halloween game coming up against the New Zealand Breakers. Hopefully we can get some revenge against them on October 31st, this coming Friday. But first, mate, let's have a look at that SEM game. It was an absolute shocker. What did you think?
Mate, speaking of Halloween, this was an absolute horror show. Halloween came early for the Hawks. And as much as we loved going in JT, we trust this game. It was just scraped by. It was not pretty. It was the second time this season and second time under JT that we had been blown out. And this was a blowout and a half. It got to 40 real quick and it was not looking back anytime soon.
We were never in it, mate. Like, if I'm being honest, never in the game. And I did see an interview with Tatum at the start. He's really good with it at NBA, I have to say. He's probably one of the better coaches who's talking to the commentators and stuff before the game. But they sort of said, like, what are you looking for in an import? Like, what are you looking for? And he sort of said, well, it's going to look at this game and see how Tyler goes again at the point. And then we might see how we go. But, man, SEM, like, made it very, very hard for Tyler. It made it very clear that we do need another ball handler to take that pressure off Tyler and open him up a little bit. So in saying that, even though, like, it was a 40-point loss, let's hope that we saw what he needed to see, and he's picked up the right guy that can really help us in the areas that we're showing some weaknesses in.
Yeah, and just breaking down the stats real quick in that game, Corey, free throws were very even across the board. Phoenix shot 22 from 26. We shot 24 from 29. 2-point attempts, we both had 42 from 2-point. They scored 20, we scored 17. But the real kicker was the three-point shooting. Southeast Melbourne went an insane ballistic 18 from 45, and we shot a miserable 6 from 21.
You don't lose games when you're hitting 18 threes.
No, you don't hit games when you're, again, yeah, as you said, hitting 18 threes, but you don't win a game when you're hitting 6 from 21. We've always said hitting over that magical number of 10, and it'll be a theme that comes up in this Perth game, that magical number of 10. And the Hawks just could not get it going. But, you know, it was a game of two halves. They came out really, really strong, and then it just died off. And
Massively,
and
it was
a massive drop off. And I don't know what happened. If they got, okay, we're in this, we can get complacent, we can get comfortable, or if they just the attitude or something just changed and it dropped.
We just didn't seem to have the troops to be able to keep it going. Like last year, we seemed to have. If we started slow, we could bring something off the bench and it will give us a spark and get us back in a game. Sometimes our starters got the job done last year, but then if we were struggling, we had the luxury of bringing guys on who could change the game. Seems like we don't really have that now. It seems like if it's not really working with the two-headed monster of Harvey and McGee, we don't have too many other options. But I'll have to say, I like to look at when things are going wrong, what's the key, what's something that's coming across most games. And what I've discovered is the Hawks are having very miserable third quarters. There's a bit of a consistent run there. I jotted down what we've been scoring in all our third quarters this season, and we had 16, which is our lowest in that game in the first game. We had 13 in the second game. We had 23 in the next, and then 24. So they were okay, but they were, again, a couple of our lowest scoring ones in those games. Then we had 12 against SEM, and then even last night we only had 11. So it seems to be a real obvious issue for the Hawks is that third quarter scoring, and it had a massive impact, obviously, in the SEM. They blew us away, but also had a bit of an impact in last night's game, which we'll come to a little bit later. But I think that was a big thing that the Hawks need to try to sort out coming out of halftime. We're in most games at around the halftime mark, but that third quarter's really letting us down. But the big thing in this game was
turnovers. The turnovers.
Turnovers were shocking, but also Burgering, fan of pants. We love him. Angus Glover was absolutely sensational. The former Illawarra junior was just absolutely electric from three. I think at one stage he was 7 from 7, maybe even 8 from 8, but it was ridiculous. He had 23 or something at half time.
Yeah, he finished at 26.
And then he didn't even come start the next half, which I thought was crazy, but he only finished with 26. Like he was jacking up shots, but he probably cooled down a little bit at halftime, and then he didn't start the next half. So he didn't really get that flow back again. But 26 points from him on 8 of 12 threes. He just
you're not losing a game.
Sobey, I have to say, he's been excellent. He's I wasn't expecting this from Sobey, but he's like on the track for all NBL first team selection based on what he's doing so far. He's been super consistent, shooting the three at a really high rate. His efficiency across the boards improved. And I did make a prediction at the start of the year about SEM. I did make that comparison to how they were like the Hawks, where they sacked a coach and the coach came in when they were on 5 and turned around, got them to the top 4, but just didn't have enough, similar to what Tatum did. And then Tatum the following year took them to a championship. There's that feel again. They are very, very Hawks-like in the way they're playing, last year's Hawks, racking up massive scores. I think they've gone 110 like 3 or 4 games in a row plus. They just looking the goods for me at the moment.
Yeah.
And their imports are sort of like those guys who just contribute in different ways. Got some guys who do really well defensively. They got the new import coming in. If he can be like, just give a little bit of contribution like a Darius Days sort of did here and there, they're going to be really tough to beat. Like, I didn't really rate that Maldonado, but he's coming up with like sort of near
13, 5, and 9
near
in
triple-double numbers. And their Aussie contingent are great. And bloody Jordan Hunter's bringing a 3 to his game. They just look, I just have a feeling about them. They could be there at the end of the season. I think at the moment, obviously, it looks Melbourne and Adelaide, but SEM look pretty good, and unless the Hawks can really turn it around. But what else? Let's talk about some of the stats from the Hawks in that game, mate.
Yeah, look, the turnovers and the ball security absolutely killed us. We had 25 turnovers compared to Southeast 7, and then on that, we only had 2 steals compared to their 11 steals. So the points altogether just did not absolutely make sense. Obviously, we won the rebounding count with 47 rebounds, but our shooting is what really let us down. 28.6% from 3 with 6 from 21, and they killed us with 40%. They shot 40% from 3, 47.6% from 2, and they obviously finished with the points that they had as well. But assists, we only had 9. They had 22 assists, so that was very, very shared around. our offense in that game was very static. It went to McGee and McGee only.
Yeah, and I felt McGee towards the end of that game
Mm.
was a little bit trying to stat pad a little bit.
Mm.
And I found it really weird, and I'll talk about it in one of our segments a little bit later. He had 4 fouls, and there was 40 seconds left in the third quarter, and they had the ball, and we brought him back on, and I thought it was really weird. Like, save him for 40 seconds. He could get fouled off because they've got the ball.
Yeah.
He didn't. He ended up getting a rebound, dribbling up the court and scoring again, but he dribbled it was like he was like wanting to come back on to get some more stats. But I thought that was a little bit of a weird moment. He did have 22 and 11. Strong game, 5 blocks, huge. Harvey, solid 14. But one glaring one was Wani had 0 points, 1 rebound in 17 minutes. And only took 2 shots. And I think
you can't be having that.
You can't be having that. And that's not normal Wani, but that was one that was glaring to me when I saw the stats. And Harry had 11, but most of those were towards the end of the game. He had 4 fouls in 4 minutes. And I've got a new saying, mate. I'm like, there's a few certainties in life, and they are death, taxes, and Harry Froling pushing someone in the first 30 seconds of him coming onto the court.
I think that's already been copyrighted by another fellow podcaster, and I'm sorry, SJ. I had no idea that this was going to happen.
He stole that from me. I told him that.
Death, taxes, and Will Mayfield. Nah, forget that. It's death, taxes, and Harry Froling getting 4 fouls already. So
pushing someone.
But,
yeah, I think we got to forget about that game. It was not nice at all. But you know what? At the end of that game, I thought to myself, okay, we got Perth next. Often teams in this league, when they get absolutely walloped, they do have that bounce back ability. And Brisbane did it. We flogged Brisbane, and they bounced back and beat Perth. And I'm like, oh, we got Perth next. Can we do it too? So I was sort of hoping that Perth would have a win in the next game or whatever and start feeling good about themselves and maybe take the Hawks a little bit easier. And that sort of happened. I like the Hawks playing a team when they're coming off a win rather than coming off a loss. So that happened. And we started this next game. So let's talk about this bounce back game against Perth. That's could be a real season defining win. They got the job done 85-84. It was a really intense ending to that game. But the Hawks started again really well. It was very, very similar to last time we played Perth. I'm sort of like going, am I watching the same game? We started well, got out to like a nice lead. It was 47-37. Everything was going really well. And then all of a sudden we looked like we were the worst basketball team in the world. We couldn't make a shot. We couldn't get a rebound. We couldn't do anything. And they go on a 21-5 run and hit the lead 58-52 going into the fourth quarter. And I'm like, in a low-scoring game, a 6-point lead is pretty decent. But we started that fourth quarter really well. Like Harvey hit a 3, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, we're back in this. We can start hitting some shots. Like we can get back into this game. Let's get us moving. And that's sort of what happened. Like, what did you think?
It was so difficult because it would slip and then it would not slip, and then we would come back and then it would slip again and then we would come back again. And it was just one of those games where you were on the edge of your seats. It's so funny because last round we were going from 40-point blowouts to now this round, the last 3 games in a row, our game finishing with 1 point. Obviously the Melbourne-Adelaide game finishing by 1 point. Then the game after that, which was the Tassie-Sydney Kings game. Which,
hey, what a weekend. Mate, the Hawks win and Sydney lose on the buzzer. Let's go.
Love it. The boys at Tassie Takeover are absolutely frothing over that win.
Mate, I messaged Berto. He was laughing at so good.
But in that game, Corey, like the stat line for this game, and it's where it was really almost won for Perth, was the free throws. They shot not 21 from 27 from free throw, and we were 9 from 16. So they went to the line 11 more times and hit 11 more shots than we did in that entire period. And
that's what probably got
that's what
probably made the game close, because if you look at another key stat was 3-point shooting. Perth were awful from 3. They only hit 5
from 32.
5 from 32. We hit 10. I don't know how many 10 from
10 of 34.
10 of 34, which is not too bad. And we've always said that magical number of 10. But last time we played Perth, we hit like 6 threes in the first quarter, and then we only hit 2 for the rest of the game, while Perth hit none in the first quarter, but ended up getting 11 for the game. So they turned it around. They didn't have the ability to turn it around in this game, only hitting 5. And in the end, in a super close game, that was probably the difference. Again, third quarter was awful for us with only 11, but then we went bang for 33 in the fourth. So huge. And that's the difference. Like 33 in the fourth, we were down 6 and we turned it around. That's the Hawks basketball that we need. They look like they grit their teeth and said, we're not leaving here without getting a win. And some couple of really impressive performances. If we look, Harvey had 24, 5 and 8 assists. We said last year with his assists, if he's getting up above 5 or 6, like the Hawks are playing good basketball. I had a nice little combo with McGee, finally getting that pick and roll and getting an alley-hoop dunk. Like, why aren't we doing that more often? McGee had 24, 11, and 3 steals in that huge game-winning block as well. He had 11 points, good bounce back, and started really strong. He got to the bucket on those transitions and played really well. Really interesting part of this game was Jackson Ball starting.
Not only that, Corey, but the minutes that he had compared to some other people's, like you look at his minutes, he had 32
minutes
with 15 seconds and only had 2 and 5. You look at someone like Mason Peatling, who had 14 minutes and he had 5, 4 and 1. So just to break that down, with Mason Peatling being on the floor, and I don't know how this works, it must be off turnovers and percentages and all the rest of it. Mason Peatling was a -2, so we were 2 points less than what we would have been.
Yeah, so the way plus minus works is that while you're on the court, what were the scores when you're on the court? So the Hawks lost the game,
they were down 2 points
with Peatling, but says with Ball, we're plus 8. So that means when he's on the court, we're a plus 8 better team when he's on the court. So, but I was just shocked. Like I was shocked when he started, and I thought, you know what, lots of coaches put a young kid in there and just let him start. He might play 4 or 5 minutes. Then you may not see him for the rest of the game. It's just like a little tactic to go, let's chuck him out there, see if he's a big body and can hold himself well defensively. But I was just shocked that he played 32 minutes. At the end of the game, when I looked at it, I was actually really shocked that he played that many minutes. Gritter didn't get on the court.
Gritter didn't get on the court. They substituted Antonio for Narkle, going back over to Perth, which is where he's from.
I think Antonio he was injured. I think he was not available. I don't know. But it was a really weird, and he was on in the crunch time as well, which was extremely interesting as well. In 32 minutes, 2 points, 5 rebounds. He doesn't look overawed, but I just thought to have him on at the end of the game there was very interesting. I was sort of thinking, are they setting this kid up for potential failure and coming up with a poor play that could ruin his confidence? He's only really young. And it could have. He was involved in that play that got Elijah Pepper free on the 3. He overplayed and then left Elijah wide open. But I'm going to say something. I don't really necessarily think that shouldn't have even happened, because when they inbounded that ball, there's 4 seconds left. They got into Doolittle. They're in the bonus. They're up by 3. I'm not necessarily a fan of just always fouling, just going and fouling, because it can be dangerous. It could lead to them jacking up a 3 and hitting it, and then you potentially can lose the game. But when someone catches the ball and they've got their back to the basket, then that's taking away them shooting the ball. Doolittle caught the ball, had his back to the basket. He had a good second just to go at the ball and foul, or even try to get the steal, whatever. It's a free chance at a steal. If he fouls him, there would have been 2 shots. 2 shots, 2 seconds left. If he hits both, okay, we're still up by 1. There's only 2 seconds left.
And it's our ball.
It's going to be, you need some crazy thing to happen to lose the game. But because even if we inbound and they foul, we go down the other end. Even if we miss, they've only got 2 seconds to get out the court. So I don't know. I thought he probably should have fouled there. That's my personal opinion. What else did you get out of the game? JLA was pretty strong. He had 18 and 12 and had some nice little moments. But one thing I'll say.
How do you foul out? I'm sorry, but how, as the best Australian big man, you foul out?
It's hard. I'm thinking lots of big men are getting fouls racked up in the NBL now. And one other thing to say as well, the free throw shooting percentage of the NBL big man is horrendous.
Horrendous. Oh,
Cooks,
mate.
JLA, who used to be really good at the line, is struggling this year. Our own man, Big Mac McGee, is struggling, but hit one of the biggest ones of our season so far. Cooks is absolutely atrocious at the line. Like, what's going on, NBL big man? Like, come on, get to free throw practice. As Dave Simonite says, get in the toilet, get your knees bent, and flick that wrist. It's going in, baby. Like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. It's crazy. It's happening a lot across the league, and it changed games today. Like, it was free throw misses, especially in last quarter, going to cost teams games. But how about McGee? What do you think of that? Coming to the line, what were you thinking? I'll tell you, I was thinking, oh no.
I was like, oh my God, here we go. It's the same end that Damon Lowry had to hit his free throws. He's like right in front of Damon Lowry. Damon Lowry's commentating. He's jumped out of his seat already. The poor man is like 60 odd, fit as, mind you. We've been following his fitness journey. So for him to jump out of the seat, like, good on him. But honestly, like, I was like,
when he missed the first one, I was like, because if you hit the first one and miss the second one, they can't call a timeout. So then they got to take time to get it up the court. So I would have taken that. But once he hit the first one, it was like he missed the first one and hit the second one. It was like, oh, they're going to get to march it up the court. They're going to get a chance to win it. But man, they inbound the ball, and who's there to block the shot? Our man McGee. How good.
It shouldn't have had to come to a block shot, but also at the same point in time, he doesn't get a hand to that. Jesse Wagstaff hits that 9 times out of 10. With a busted eye and all the rest of it, Jesse Wagstaff will hit that 9 times out of 10.
100%. And we ended up coming away with a win. It was great. We don't get many lucky calls. The call on McGee to get to the line was, like, some will say it was pretty harsh, and I'll tend to agree. Like, if that went against the Hawks, I would have been very disappointed. But like, in the run that we're going through, we need to take some of those lucky gets, and when we took one, we move on. But mate, I'm going to say, like we talked about at the start of the season, that going to Perth early on and to leave that little 1-on-1, I'm going to take that. We still have to play them again, which we've said was ridiculous. We play them 4 times and 3 of them in Perth. Ridiculous.
At least one of them's a fun time. It's Hoops Fest.
Yeah, but
so everyone else is there.
We could have played anyone in Hoops Fest. Why do we play Perth when we've already played them twice in Perth? So anyway, like, we're 1-on-1. Hoops Fest, mate. That game's when we're in Bali, and mate, the Hawks have a great record when I go to Bali to watch.
We've got a great record. Record in Bali.
Great record in Bali. So I'm looking forward to that game. We'll be like pumped for it.
At the Pavilion Surf Club. So if you guys are in Bali from the 12th of January to the 28th of January, we'll be at the Pavilion Surf Club. See us there. It'll be rocking. Absolutely rocking. But Corey,
we're going to move on.
Let's throw the fun back into this shindig. Get up and get out.
Yeah.
It's back. We're throwing it back old school. We're bringing it all back. You guys have asked for it. It's been a long time coming. Our get up for this game and this round of games, I got to give it to him, Angus Glover.
Yeah.
He's my get up. And as a local Illawarra boy, playing basketball against him, seeing his journey from development player to main roster, back to development roster, then back into a full main roster now with Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, and finding his absolute just spark and joy for the game again. Red Dog absolutely killed it.
He killed it.
Whatever you want to call him, Red Dog, fan of pants.
It's all in good fun. Like, we love him. I love Gus. He's a really good kid. And I was actually like, I hate the Hawks losing, but also happy for him. That's a big get up. I'm going to say another get up is going to be JaVale McGee. His start of the season has been absolutely spectacular. It just keeps going.
Yeah.
And one thing I love is like the excitement he brings to like my son especially. He just loves watching him play. He's already got his jersey ordered, Indigenous one. He's getting it for his birthday. He's pumped. But last night he was like, he usually loves watching the Hawks live, but not necessarily always on the TV. He was locked in last night, and it's just all because of the McGee factor. You don't want to miss his much watch dunks that he does, blocks that he does. He's just like must watch TV, and he's great for the kids. The kids are going to love him, and he's my definite get up. Who's your get out?
My get out is the NBL in general.
Oh,
my biggest pet peeve at the moment with everything that is going on is the goddamn whinging that is coming out of everyone. You are paid to play the game. You are paid to be a professional basketball player. Sometimes things are going to happen. Things are going to get missed, all the rest of it. Yeah, okay. JaVale McGee had his foot out of the court while Todd Blanchfield slipped the ball back to him as he had come onto
Why was he passing it
He had
to him?
1 foot in, 1 foot out, and the refs completely missed it. All 12,000 people at RAC Arena lost it, and you still lost the game, and your salty asses could not handle the fact that you lost. You can't buy yourself since Bryce Cotton left. I don't care what you have to say, but my biggest get out for all of it is just the whinging that is coming from everyone at the moment. Teams are getting flogged by 40, and then on the other hand, are winning games by 1. They're getting absolutely thrashed by 30 odds in 3 games in a row, and then you bounce back and you win 3 games in a row. Or you could be Melbourne United and finally have your shit together and go 9-0 for the start of the season.
How have they played 9 games? We've only played 6. But they love to stack them early because the tennis is on later in the year. But my get out is there was going to be, if the Hawks hadn't signed an import before we did this, I was going to be absolutely filthy. So they saved that would have been my get out. But I want to say my get out is the Sydney Kings. You suck. Like, honestly,
Massively.
You guys come out, oh, we're the best. We got everyone. You get Delhi, you got Cooks, you got KD, who's supposed to be the next Cotton. You got all this depth. I know you had an injury to Leah Pepe and all that, but come on. Like, today you're up 16, 84, 68, and you lose 90 to 89. What's that? That's like what did I say it was? 20...
25 to 4 run. It was 25 to 4 run or something ridiculous.
Crazy run. And I'm like, what the hell is that? What was it? Yeah, 22 to 5 run to lose the game. Cooks throws an inbounds pass to nobody. They dribble the whole length of the court.
In 4 seconds, 4.4 left on the clock.
And Marshall hits a beautiful, great work from the young kid. That's a huge moment for him.
Oh, yeah.
And I got a soft spot for Tassie, I have to say. They've got to be my second favourite team in the NBL. So I absolutely love that. And I'm going to say, the Kings are struggling. I know they got some big name talent, but if I was to have to take anyone from their team right now, and people would be like, you're crazy, you take KD, you take everyone, you take Cooks. I'm not taking them.
Take Galloway.
The only one, I do like Galloway too. Yeah, so yeah. And he had a good game today. But I'm saying, I think Tim Suarez, the big guy, is actually playing really well for him. He's a different type of big man, and he's actually a big man who can shoot free throws. So he's someone who I'd take to the Hawks. And Galloway's probably the other one. The rest of them, you can have them. Honestly, they're just an absolute mess.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful to see. I just hope that we can beat them again. But honestly, everyone was raving about them again. They had a crap season last season.
They'll win it all.
And they're just struggling again. And they just look like they're just not playing great basketball. It looked like an utter mess. And it's not helpful when you've got one of your star players who just cannot shoot free throws to save his life. And I think it's actually really affecting the way that they play, especially at the end of games. He doesn't want the ball in his hands.
People would rather foul him and foul out.
Well, he's throwing the ball away quickly because he doesn't want to get fouled, and it's leading to turnovers. Yeah. So that's my big get out. But we're going to move on now to a new segment. Our Are You Serious?
And Corey, before you begin,
yes,
I have to ask you. Are you sure and are you serious that you want to do this? Because once you get into it, there's no going back.
There's no turning back. This is going to be a great segment. Are you serious? All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a bunch of moments. They could be positive. They could be like, what the hell? They could be like, wow, all those sorts of things. And I'm going to give it to you. You get to choose which one you think is a Are You Serious moment of the episode or the round or the week or whatever we're looking at.
And are we talking a good Are You Serious or a bad Are You Serious?
No, I want you just to think what's the moment that made you actually go, are you serious?
Are you out of your mind?
Are you out of your mind?
All right.
So the first one I'm going to say is that dunk by McGee last night where he just went down the lane and it actually looked like Jordan. And I actually yelled at the top of my voice when I was watching going, that was crazy. And it's all over social media now. That was huge. That's the first one. Next one, Are You Serious moment was starting Jackson Ball. That was a real big Are You Serious moment. Okay. Next one was not starting Angus Glover after half time, when he's just gone 7 of 7 threes. Now, I'm a massive Josh King fan, and I do think SEM are going to be a big chance at the title this year. But what the actual are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
When a dude's hot, and at halftime's the worst thing that can happen, but why leave him off for even longer?
Yeah.
Like, the dude's on fire. Not just his hair, his game was on fire. Like, seriously, the dude was like having a career night, and you don't start him. That's like, I was like, are you serious? Next one, I mentioned before, like bringing McGee on with 40 seconds to go in the third quarter when he had 4 fouls and they had the ball. Very much a are you serious sort of moment. And this is the one, if I was voting, I'll be voting for this. Now, I was watch heaps of NBL, and they had like a little clip at halftime, and they was like asking the NBL players, current NBL players, who do you think is the GOAT? LeBron or Michael Jordan? I'm like, this is going to be not even close. Come on. It's got to be MJ. Like, please. They voted for stupid LeBron James. Are you kidding me? NBL players, wake up to yourself. If maybe this is why they're whinging all the time and not hitting free throws. How do you not know that Michael Jordan is the GOAT? Now, you're a young fella. I think even you know that Michael Jordan's the GOAT. Okay, so out of that list, what is the biggest are you serious moment? What are you going with? What was the biggest one that made you go, are you serious?
I think for me, the starting Jackson ball absolutely worked. It worked because it allowed Jackson to start at the 1, Harvey to start at the 2, freed up Harvey more, which you saw. His points skyrocketed. He had his assist numbers back up. He had his rebound numbers back up. He almost had the double-double. So his basketball went straight back up to where it should be. And I love seeing it because it ended up winning us the game. But the minutes towards the end of the crunch time, when you've got people there that hadn't even played the game at all, it was almost eerily similar to a Brian Goorjian type coaching style where he just stuck with the same key 7 players. And I'm sorry, and I hate to do this, but I'll flip that on its head. And my are you serious is not playing players that have been there for long. Like, why elevate Kobe to a main roster spot if you're not going to play him? Why take Dan Greeter over to Perth, and why stick with him all of these years? Have him as your absolute dog on a defensive end and not play him. Why swap out Jonah Antonio regardless of injury, bring Johnny Narkle into the starting lineup or into the team, and not play him?
It was yeah. So the are you serious moment of the week is the starting of ball. It was shocking to me. The kid's only just really joined the team, so he must be really, really impressing at training. And maybe
he's 17 and it's his first game.
The coach is maybe making a statement saying, like, guys, you guys aren't getting it done. This kid's come in and he's showing us how it's done. Big body, he's dominating you at training. I don't know what's going on at training, but I'm making assumptions. And he's just gone, there you go. Like. Hey, well, it was a big ballsy move putting Jackson Ball in the starting 5, and that's your are you serious moment of the week. Stay tuned for next episode.
And we're speaking of balls. We've got the big baller behind. We've got the big baller right here. I mean, Jackson Ball, 17 years old, from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Prospect for apparently St. Louis University, from what I have heard. So that connection there with JT for St. Louis and all the rest of it. I had a little chat with them when we had that on-court signing, the newest prospect for St. Louis University.
Okay.
But he's obviously killing it and showing these people how it's done when it's in practice. But that's his first kind of real court time in an NBL game. And
in the furnace of RAC Arena as well. And like I said, he didn't look phased. Like but it just was like, I felt like in that last quarter when he was on in the key moments, was he going to make the big play? Like, we had other guys on the bench who could, and I would have thought if we lost that game, a lot of people would have been saying like, oh, that was the potential key reason why we lost. But now we've won, people probably not going to really read into it too much. And people are going to say, well, man, it worked. Like, coach showed balls, put the ball on there, and he got the job done. Young fella, must be doing good things. Great prospect.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember you saying to me, this dude can ball. And I'm like, he's not going to be a savior, surely. But 17-year-old, great size. Even the commentators are like, oh, Jesus, how's this? What's this kid eat? Like he just looks the part. Like there's no doubt. If he can start contributing like offensively, like who knows? I wasn't expecting him to get any minutes this year. So to already play 32 is, if there was a betting market on over or under 32 minutes for the season, I would have been on unders. And he's already got it. He's got it in one game. So let's move on, mate, because one of the most exciting moments of the week, because I was in the doldrums, I'm not lying, I was like, the Hawks 1-4 going to Perth, haven't got an import yet. This is going to be another loss for sure. Like I was like down in the dumps. I was just like, this is not going to happen. And then bang, Hawks, new import signing, QJ Peterson. Now, the dude's played plenty of places around the world, shown that he can score. Looks like a really strong perimeter threat. Watch some highlights. I know highlights aren't always the greatest thing because they just show the good parts of your game and when you're hitting shots. But I like to look at, when I watch those, like what his form looks like, what type of shots is he hitting? Is he just hitting wide open ones? Is he hitting things off the dribble? Is he hitting like catch and shoot style? He was getting a lot of these like perimeter shots off the dribble, which is difficult. And step backs and tough shots. And they were like nothing but net. Like it's a sweet looking shot. He's a good size. I know he's only 6 foot, but when I say good size, he looks strong. He doesn't look small like a PJC style. He looks like he's a strong body that he can take a bump. So I'm excited, but again, it's going to see how he adjusts to the league. Like, what's your thoughts?
I think he'll adjust perfectly, and it's no dig to Corey McLaughlin because he did great in the role that he got thrown into. Obviously, it was the role that he wasn't supposed to play. He was supposed to come off the bench. He was supposed to have Dave O'Hickey. Obviously, that's been an orbital eye fracture. He's got an unstable eye socket. Like the injury to Davo was not what we had planned, and the seriousness behind the injury is definitely not something that we had planned either. So for him to then jump into a different role, I thought he handled it as best as he could. Obviously, now we've got an import coming in. We'll more than likely take that starting role straight away, and it'll allow Bawali to come off the bench, Kobe to come off the bench, whoever comes off the bench, Davo in his return potentially come off the bench.
Have we heard anything about that? When's that look likely?
Look, it came up on the NBL app the other day, whether or not it's an actual thing. It said the 31st, which is Friday of next week, which is our next home game.
He's due to suit up for that game, and is
it said the 31st of October, and now it's back to TBC. So whether or not that was a typo, whether or not
Peterson going to be ready to play as well on Friday?
I believe he'll be coming to the country. Whether or not he'll be ready to play, I'm not too sure. It'll be a case-by-case basis. I would hope that he would be in here having practices, all the rest of it. The boys came back this afternoon about 4 or 5 o'clock back from Perth. So if he's here, if he's fit, if he's ready to go, all the rest of it, I strongly believe that his game will translate straight across. He's playing in the CBL, which we've seen people leave the NBL, go to China, Darius Days, Gary Clark, Ian Clark, Trey Kell, all of these players that move on from the NBL over to China and have the same career, if not better careers. He's going from 21 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and coming down to the NBL. I don't know if the Chinese league is stronger than the NBL. I don't know. Like some of the players you mentioned, I think are in the Japanese league. I don't think the Japanese league is as strong as the NBL. It's the money that drags him in there, which is Gary Clark.
It's the money that drags him. I don't know about the quality of play is what necessarily drags him in there. Like it's hard to knock back big money offers. Yeah. It's going to have to be a wait and see. He looks like he's okay. Like he looks like he's a decent player. Stats look like he's good. Hopefully he's a good fit. He's a good dude. He can fit into the culture of the Hawks. But we need him out there because, like, the Hawks play Friday. Mm-hmm. Then they play again on the 2nd of November.
Which is a Sunday.
Then we play on the 5th of November. Then we play on the 7th of November. So that is 4 games in 7 days. So we're going to need him, and we're going to need Hickey for that as well. Like, that's a key part of our season, those 4 games. that's a stretch. 4 games, and we've had a pretty soft start to the season.
And not only that,
how many games we've played, that's going to get us caught up. But 4 games in 7 days, I guess that's what they've targeted the import to come in at this stage. They've realised that that's a key moment in our season. 4 games pretty quickly. We need him in there. Hopefully he can play on the 31st, but if not, we're going to need him for that game on the 2nd.
Yeah.
And same with Hickey. But the next game is huge, and we'll talk about that now. The Halloween game against New Zealand on the 31st. Looking at the table,
they're 2-7.
That win last night, we were last, and just getting that win jumps us up to 3rd from the bottom. And now we're only 1 win out of 6. I think
Top 6,
3, 4, 5. Yeah, 1 win out of 6. So if we win, we will go equal record with Sydney, who's in 6th place. Brisbane are 3 and 6. So
their 3 and 5 would be 3 and 4. So we'll jump them. We'll jump them again.
So we should this is it's a big game, and it's a winnable game playing against New Zealand. I know
New Zealand's at home, so you're going to have
New
Zealand.
When New Zealand playing New Zealand, they're a different side. But when they're playing away from home, you'd hope we can get the job done. They've been pretty inconsistent with their shooting, a little bit like us. And we got to turn up, ready to play. Hopefully, we've got those 2 guys in the team. Brings a nice vibe to the squad and excitement as well. And the boys can come out and get the job done, because hopefully they have in their head too that New Zealand made us look a little bit silly over there.
Absolutely.
And hopefully, I know Tate will be saying, they made a fool of us. Let's get some revenge on these guys, and he'll definitely want that win. But it's an important game. We know who their key players are, like PJC, Meninga. They're the guys we're going to stop. And it's going to probably be
Davidson. We know he can have a blinder anytime he wants to.
There's going to be probably Harvey McGee versus Meninga and PJC, whoever comes out on top. Hopefully, if we have the new import and Hickey, they can be a little difference maker. But New Zealand are going to play hard. Most of that team are Kiwi-based guys who play with a lot of heart, and they're not going to give up. So if we turn up not think it's going to be easy, we'll get our pants pulled down. So I think it's a really important game for the Hawks. I never put any game down as a definite win, but I'm hoping the Hawks fans turn out. Don't know if the Hawks have anything in the process about Halloween and what they're going to do, but I think it was a pretty good opportunity to have some Halloween jerseys, I reckon. But look, they didn't go down that way. But anyway,
it was. But I think purely for the fact that it's still kind of technically Indigenous round, they're going to rock with the Indigenous jerseys when they come back home.
Yeah,
they put a post up about it. We're also the club in the league who's got the most Indigenous players. We've got 5 plus. Then one of our coaches is of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander descent as well. So, hopefully they those people.
Again,
jersey superstition, mate. I'm wearing my Hawkman jersey.
You got to wear.
We won a lot of jerseys. We won a lot of games in this jersey. Last season, we won a lot in the Steel City, and then the Christmas jersey was huge for us. And then we went back to Steel City, and then it ended up being
the Heritage jersey he had in the finals for a bit too. That's a Tatum thing. If you win a game in a jersey, he likes to stick with it. I really like the look of the Indigenous jersey as well. I hope because. Like someone said too, and I think exactly like the NBL. What wouldn't you give the Hawks a home game in Indigenous round? Tyson Demos was the one who started the whole process and got it up and running. And we have a great ceremony before the game. I don't know if they're going to do that on Friday. It'd be nice if they do. That's good, because it's a really special moment in the season, and it'd be great to see them in those jerseys again. So hopefully, we get a big crowd, 5,000 plus again. Your brother finishes the HSC on that day, so he'll be up for a big one.
A lot of kids will be up for the big one. If you're close to finishing your HSC, obviously that Friday is your PDHP exam.
Yes.
Don't ask this one for any tips on PDHP come Friday. But it's close to being finished, so congrats to you all. But speaking of being finished, we'll wrap up this episode real quick. We're going to finish it off with FLOG WATCH.
Okay.
And it's going to be back to the man himself, Chris Goulding, CG43. Mate, what are you doing screaming at an opposition coach? He's calling you a flop for a goddamn reason. You are a flop. You are a flog. Stop show ponying and all the rest of it, trying to foul bait people. You're not Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. You don't have an NBA ring on your finger. Once you have one of those, once you've actually proven yourself at a higher level, come back, then you can start flopping and foul baiting people, and then you can start screaming at some coaches and all the rest of it. But how is that not a tech? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's
How
interesting.
is that not a tech when
Engaging with another coach? Yeah. It's interesting.
In this league and in this rules, and I'll be shameless and I'll put it out here. I got ejected from the snake pit 2 weeks ago, and I got a suspension for 2 weeks for kicking someone's ankle. There was push and shove. There was
literal ankle breaker.
There was there was pushing and shoving. There was arm bars, all the rest of it. So I gave him a little love tap on the ankle because I was a bit upset, and it got upgraded from an unsportsmanlike foul to a disqualification foul. So they threw me out, and I got a 2-week suspension. How can you get this close to an opposition's coach's face after you've been subbed off the court, mind you? You've been subbed off. You come face to face with the coach screaming at him, and nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Mate,
how does that happen?
That's a pretty good. I'm going to go. My FLOG watch is going to be KD, Kendrick Davis.
Another one.
I heard an interview today at halftime, and they were saying like, "How you feeling the game?" He goes, "Good." He goes, "But this team, Tassie, are a really good team. They've got Tiger, they got Bryce, and they've got the big fella." No respect for Magnay. Come on, mate.
No, you know all your Australian centre.
You know all your American guys, but come on, you can't forget Magnay. He made them pay, mate. Big Magnay, and they got the chocolates in the end. So, yeah, KD, I'm sorry, mate, but you're my flog of the week, not knowing Magnay's name. So, but yeah, we'll continue with the FLOG watch. I think it's a good.
I love it.
Yeah. But we might mix it up. I think last year we would always have a flog. The team were coming to play next, but this time I think we're going to look at who over the league has been the biggest flog of the week. But
just flog of the week.
Yeah, flog of the week.
Just
love it.
FLOG watch every single day. But Corey, this stretch of games is going to absolutely test us. We've got 2 home, 2 away. Home on Friday against New Zealand. It's going to be huge. Make sure you get out there, because then the game after that is against Adelaide, against Bryce Cotton. That one's going to be scary because we fly to Adelaide almost straight after that game. We then come all the way back home.
Adelaide, our nemesis.
Adelaide.
You told Tatum. So he saw that interview and you told him. And he goes, so maybe he might have that written in his little black book.
It's one to watch. But then we come back home, Corey, and it's the game that every single Hawks fan has been waiting for all season.
We're going to be the first team to bet Melbourne United. I'm saying it here. I'm saying it right now.
FLOG comes to town.
I'm telling you, we'll be the first team. They'll crumble under the grand final pressure. The rematch.
Your signs better be out. And I'm telling you right now,
we'll be the first team to beat
flop counter 3.0 is coming. I already know that the flop counter 3.0 is in the works.
I do not want Melbourne to win another game.
They won't.
I mean, I don't want them to lose a game until they play us. I want them to be like
primed and ready.
Perfect. Yeah. And then when we play us, we're the first team to beat them.
They will, and they will do it in style like normal. Then we head to Cairns to face the Cairn Taipans. Don't know if Jack McVeigh, Jack Trey will be back for that game.
Of course he'll be back. Every team writes down the Hawks when they come back.
Yeah,
every time.
It's always.
But we want to play. We want to play their best team anyway. Bring it on. He doesn't touch the ball anyway when Andrews is on. Anyway, that's enough for this week, brother. Finish it. You know what you have to say,
mate. Corey, it's been a pleasure. A big, massive shout out, as always. Principal Brewing, enable you to go check them out. They're linked everywhere, like always. Sammy Ackroyd, our merchandise sponsor from here on in at 18th Dynasty. If you need anything, contact him, contact us. We'll send you all of his information and details for all your streetwear and societal culture needs. But Corey, that is everything that we've got on the Hawks Hangout for this week. And as always, fly you Hawks.
Fly.
Fly, baby.